Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम, कैंटो 3, चैप्टर 2, टेक्स्ट नंबर 16. मां खेदयति एतदजस्य जन्म। मां खेदयति एतद् अजस्य जन्म। विडम्बनं यद् वसुदेव गेहे। विडम्बनं यद् वसुदेव गेहे। व्रजे च वासोरिभयाद् इव स्वयम्। व्रजे च वासोरिभयाद् इव स्वयम्। पुराद्व्यवात्सीद् यदनन्तवीर्यः। पुराद्व्यवात्सीद् यदनन्तवीर्यः। मां खेदयत्येतद् अजस्य जन्म। मां खेदयत्येतद् अजस्य जन्म। विडम्बनं यद् वसुदेव गेहे। व्रजे च वासोरिभयादिव स्वयम्। व्रजे च वासोरिभयादिव स्वयम्। पुराद्व्यवात्सीद् यदनन्तवीर्यः। पुराद्व्यवात्सीद् यदनन्तवीर्यः। मां खेदयत्येतदजस्य जन्म। विडम्बनं यद् वसुदेव गेहे। व्रजे च वासोरिभयादिव स्वयम्। पुराव्यवत्सीद् यदनन्तवीर्यः। मां खेदयत्येतदजस्य जन्म। विडम्बनं यद् वसुदेव गेहे। व्रजे च वासोरिभयादिव स्वयं पुराद्व्यवात्सीद् यददन्तवीर्यः to me, khedayati, gives me distress. Etat, this, ajasya, of the unborn, Janma, birth, Vidambanam, bewildering, Yat, that, Vasudeva Gehe, in the home of Vasudeva, Vraja, in Vrindavana, Cha, also, Vasaha, inhabitation, Ari, enemy, Bhayat, because of fear, Iva, as if, Swayam, himself, Purat, from Mathurā Puri, Vyavastit, fled, Yat, one who is, Ananta Viryaha, unlimitedly powerful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When I think of Lord Kṛṣṇa, how he was born in the prison house of Vasudeva, although he is unborn, how he went away from his father's protection to Vraja and lived there incognito out of fear of the enemy, and how, although unlimitedly powerful, he fled from Mathurā in fear. All these bewildering incidents give me distress. Kindly repeat. When I think Lord Kṛṣṇa, how he was born in the prison house of Vasudeva, although he is unborn, how he went away from his father's protection to Vraja and lived there incognito out of fear of the enemy, and how, although unlimitedly powerful, he fled from Mathurā in fear. All these bewildering incidents give me distress. Purport. Because Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa is the original person from whom everything and everyone has emanated, aham sarvasya prabhava janmadyasya yataha, nothing can be equal to or greater than him. The Lord is supremely perfect, and whenever he enacts his transcendental pastimes as a son, a rival, or an object of enmity, he plays the part so perfectly that even pure devotees like Uddhava are bewildered. For example, Uddhava knew perfectly well that Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa is eternally existent and can neither die nor disappear for good. Yet he lamented for Lord Kṛṣṇa. All these events are perfect arrangements to give perfection to his supreme glories. It is for enjoyment's sake. When a father plays with his little son and the father lies down on the floor as if defeated by the son, it is just to give the little son pleasure and nothing more. Because the Lord is all powerful, it is possible for him to adjust opposites such as birth and no birth, power and defeat, fear and fearlessness. A pure devotee knows very well how it is possible for the Lord to adjust opposite things. But he laments for the non-devotees who, not knowing the supreme glories of the Lord, think of him as imaginary simply because there are so many apparently contradictory statements in the scriptures. Factually, there is nothing contradictory. Everything is possible when we understand the Lord as the Lord and not as one of us with all our imperfection. Dasanda Bhakti Vedanta Purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyate Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as Uddhava is remembering Lord Krishna, we will see in this set of shlokas, few shlokas, some bewildering points Uddhava is reminding. Like Kunti Devi also in her prayers, she brings about Tadatyanta Vidambanam, the birth of unborn is bewildering, why he is born. So similar way we see here Uddhava, three particular aspects of Krishna's Leela he points out is very bewildering. Vidambanam. One is Ajasya Janma. The Supreme Lord is born Vasudeva Gehe. He is born in the house of Vasudeva. Actually not house, the prison house of. So first of all, being born in the material world itself is not a glorious thing. Now today's culture is we say happy birthday. But happy birthday is, it is not a happy birthday. Because to be born in material world is a reaction of past actions. It's like if someone enters a jail and if he says happy entrance day, and every year is celebrating happy jail entrance day, still we considered a crazy fellow. Cake cutting is happening and blowing of candles is happening and celebration. So police, the superintendent of the jail will think these people are crazy. Rather they are supposed to morose. Again 1 year has happened, I came here, when I will go out. So this happy birthday concept is a very contradictory. It is very conflicting actually. So the Lord, Supreme Lord, who is Sachidananda Purusha, Parama Pavitram, Parabrahma, why he is born? That too he is born in the house of, prison house of Vasudeva, not even in a palace, comfortable palace. First of all, in material world, that itself is bewildering. Second is born in a prison house, not in a respectable way. So that is a little bewildering to a pure devotee. In fact, it is distressing. Suppose you don't receive someone very well, no, whom you want to honor, if you don't. So we always feel, we could have done something better to receive him. So Uddhava is feeling very distressed. Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parabrahma, Parandama, Pavitram, he is born in a jail, Vasudeva's prison house. And actually is unborn, but he is born. The second aspect he points out, Vrajecha Vaso Ribhayat. And then it appears that the Lord is running away from Vraja. Or his father, he is put incognito as a resident of Vraja, Vrindavan. As if the Lord is afraid of his enemy. Vasori Bhayat. As if he is afraid. Now, Supreme Lord is all powerful. Ananta Viryaha. Then why he is running away? Then Purad Vivatsid Yad. From Mathurā Puri also, when there was attack by Jarasandha, too many attacks by Jarasandha. Krishna shifted his capital and all his palaces to Dwarka. And it appears he was fearful of Jarasandha. So this is bewildering. It is bewildering and it is distressing for the pure devotees. So Srila Prabhupada gives explanation that because the Supreme Lord is the origin of everything, there is nothing equal or greater than him. He is the supreme, he is the perfect of everything. So when the Lord behaves as a son of someone, he brings perfection to that role also. To such an extent that you cannot figure out that really he is God. Even pure devotees, they get bewildered. It's like an artist, if you give him real rose and if he paints a rose, the expertise of the artist is that judged by how realistically he makes that rose. It should appear real, as if rose is really there in the paper, in his paint. Then he is expert artist, isn't it? That's how we. So the Supreme Lord, he takes up roles, whatever role he has taken, the role of a son, role of a father, role of a brother, perfectly he does. In certain occasions, we see that Lord Balarama is giving contradicting opinion on Lord Kṛṣṇa and there is a fight. Verbally they fight. Arey, Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, why Balarama is not listening? But he is acting as a younger son, younger brother. Similarly, when Lord Kṛṣṇa is leaving from Hastinapur to Dwarka, Shri Radha Madar Mohan ki. So it is described in Bhagavatam. The Lord pays respects to Yudhishthira, he pays respects to Kunti Devi, he hugs Arjuna, embraces Arjuna, he blesses Bhima, he blesses Nakula and Sahadeva. Perfect everything. Not that because he is Supreme Lord, Kunti Devi also should bow down. No. Or Yudhishthira also will bow down. Perfect. In his. So even in the Bhishma Deva's prayers, Bhishma Deva is recollecting what a perfect enemy he behaved in front of me. Perfect. What a perfect protector of Arjuna. Arjuna is shooting arrows, on Bhishma. Bhishma is shooting arrows on Arjuna. Sometimes Bhishma is shooting arrow on Kṛṣṇa also. But Kṛṣṇa is not running away. Perfectly is. Every role he does, perfection. Actually, a wonderful explanation is given. Bhishma and Lord Kṛṣṇa's relationship as a courageous relation. And actually Bhishma is throwing arrows on Kṛṣṇa, just like any devotee is offering flowers to the Lord. Similarly, Lord also accepting. As enemy, he is accepting it. It's a very unique relation. So, it is appearing bewildering. Very perfectly he does. And that is his glory. All the events are perfect arrangements to give perfection to the Supreme Lord's glories. Just like Prabhupada gives very nice example, a father plays with his little son and sometimes the father lies down on the floor as if defeated by the son. Sometimes it happens, father and son then playing. If the son is a police, father is a thief, he shoots, father falls. Behaves perfectly like a thief, defeated by the police. So the Supreme Lord, for the enjoyment of his son, enjoyment of the living entities, he performs all these wonderful pastimes. And one is the Supreme Lord is powerful. Bewildering thing is he is powerful, but he is acting, he is powerless. But Srila Prabhupada is explaining his supreme powerful is visible even in this also. How? Even though he is behaving as having less power, but he can adjust every situation. Like birth and no birth, he can adjust. Power and defeat, he can adjust. Fear and fearlessness, he can adjust. Like Prabhupada gives example, an expert electrician, he can make an instrument as a heater. The same instrument, some circuit he changes, it becomes. For outside material, any outside person, ignorant fellow, how it is possible? He may think. But it is possible. It is just a management of knowledge of the circuit. In one lecture, Prabhupada says that scientists, they will not agree that a little boy, 7-year-old boy, lifted Govardhan hill for 7 days on his little finger. They will not believe. They will not believe that Lord Ramchandra built a bridge which was floating on ocean with stones. Because they don't have faith on Krishna. They don't have faith on God. What is that faith? Rupa Goswami explains, if you want to understand absolute truth, the first condition is Achintya Khalue Brahma. The absolute truth is inconceivable. If you don't accept this fact, if you don't have faith that the Lord is inconceivable, you cannot understand His strength, you cannot understand His power. It is not possible. If this is not the basis, this is like ABCD. If this is not understood, accepted, we cannot understand Supreme Lord. So Rupa Goswami says, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, actually he quotes a verse from Mahabharata. Achintya Khalue Brahma. If this fact is not accepted, we can never understand absolute truth. Because there are so many bewildering pastimes of the Lord. The Lord is stealing butter from a house. This is contradicting. But he is worshipped. More contradicting. Ma Kanchor, and we are glorifying. Did you worship Ma Kanchor? No one will say, did you worship Veerappan? Dawood Ibrahim? No. If you worship Dawood, you will be called anti-national. But Ma Kanchor. So, Prabhupada gives this example and says, this is whatever Krishna does is good. Therefore, he is worshipped. His stealing is not the same as stealing in the material world. The effect of stealing in the material world and the effect of stealing by the Supreme Lord is not same. Therefore, Krishna is transcendental, and if you want to understand transcendence, you have to accept it is achintya. Achintya kalue bhava na tams tarkena yojayet. You cannot understand the transcendence. Tarkena, by logic. Pratibhyaha param yaccha, that which is material nature. There is a distinction between transcendence and material nature. Tad achintyasya lakshanam. That is a achintya, that which is transcendence, that is a lakshana, that it is achintya. what about Supreme Lord? You cannot even understand about the spirit soul. Forget about super soul. Even the spirit soul. Krishna himself says, Ascharyavat kaschidenam pashyati, ascharyavat kaschidenam tataiva chanyaha vadati. Some people are talking about it very surprising way, wonderful way. Some people are seeing it in a wonderful way. This Krishna himself is saying. The spirit soul is itself inconceivable. Forget about Supreme Lord who is super soul. And Srila Prabhupada gives the example, this spirit soul which is animating a small bacteria. Bacteria, what is the size of bacteria? Some microns. Cannot even see with. It is animating that body. The same spirit soul is animating an elephant or a dinosaur. So where is how many bacteria will combine to make a dinosaur? And that is also animated by one spirit soul. It's a bewildering, achintya. Now imagine the Supreme Lord, what and all he can do. So therefore, Vedic literature say, until unless we accept the fact that the Supreme Lord is inconceivable, we cannot begin to understand absolute truth. That is the basis. We cannot understand the Lord or transcendence by logic. For example, now, in few days we will have a lunar eclipse. So now every time standard there will be discussions going on whether really lunar eclipse is inauspicious. It will spoil the food, some things and all they will keep discussing. So some fellow will come and tell, no, last time I ate during eclipse, I was seeing eclipse and eating everything. Nothing happened to me. The other Sastra, some astrologer or those who believe in all of this will say, no, it will affect. So these things we achintya cannot understand. And it is impossible for us to make a research on this. Like some people, they want to do research, existence of spirit soul. So they are keeping one body in a tight container. Room is not container, room is. And they want to see how the spirit, if spirit soul exists inside, they are saying spirit soul leaves the body. We want to see how it is exiting. So some cameras, sensors, infrared radiations and all they kept. After some time they found out that there was some crack in the wall. So now they concluded, from this crack of the wall the spirit soul left. So some people may, correct. Some another fellow, that crack is because engineers did not construct proper. So the spirit soul, which is 1/10,000th of the tip of the hair, inconceivable. We cannot see. That fact has to be understood. So similarly, the Supreme Lord, inconceivable. This is the basic tenet on which the spirituality has to begin. And the Supreme Lord, because he is inconceivable, he is so powerful that he can do anything contradictory. He can be a butter thief and he can be worshipped also. He can run away from battlefield and he can be called the greatest warrior in the world. He can be the smallest, just newborn baby, but he can be Yogeshwara. He became heavier than heavy in Trinavarta's case. Became heavier than heavy. A small baby. How he can become heavier than anything? Contradictory things can happen. A small baby, after doing tapasya, getting jnana, yoga and all of that, he can get power, that is understood. maybe 16 years old, that time he got some special power. This is a just born baby. And he became heavier than heaviest. Achintya. Now if you make measurement, oh, this boy is only 6 feet high, 6 inches this thing, how this boy can get so much of weight, where is the analysis, how much gram he was actually weighing. We cannot understand. So therefore, the pure devotees know very well how it is possible for the Lord to adjust opposite things. But he laments for the non-devotees who do not know, who not knowing the supreme glories of the Lord, think of him as imaginary, simply because there are so many apparently contradictory statements in the scriptures. So they are unable to understand, they grasp these things. So therefore, this achintya can only be understood through Guru, Sadhus and Shastras. We cannot use our logic. There are many things in spirituality, even in spirituality also. Some may fit into our logic, some will not. Logic is also material. You cannot approach a transcendental subject matter through material phenomena, material process. Nyaya, tarka, logic will not work. It can help us to understand to some extent, but it is not everything. Therefore, jnana karmadi anavrutam. Even intelligence, jnana, anavrutam. What is that jnana anavrutam? This logic and all. I have to perfectly fit in my head what is the logic. Like Ekadashi also, some seeds are considered grain, some seeds non-grain. Now we argue, no, why this is also seed, no, why that? No, that's all Guru Sadhu Shastra, that's all, we follow it. We don't go we use our logic only to the point where Guru Sadhu Shastras, the boundary begins from. The moment we heard from Guru Sadhu Shastra, our intelligence should be blank there. Our intelligence should be applied how to prove what Guru Sadhu Shastra is saying. Not to disprove what Guru Sadhu Shastra is. That's what scientists are doing. So we can use our intelligence up to that level. But when we see the statement, Guru Sadhu Shastra, cow dung is pure. Till then we are making research. Okay, stool is contamination. Till then we made research. All absolutely understood. Even cow dung is also stool, therefore it is. But when it is heard, Guru Sadhu Shastras are saying cow dung is pure. Logic should stop there. That is the boundary. Very simple. Why? Not that we are blindly following. We are accepting another fact here. That is achintya. We cannot understand how a cow dung, that is a stool of a cow, can become pure. We don't know. It is impossible to understand. Forget that even material activities also scientists are unable to understand. How a cow eats grass, which has got only fiber, no carbohydrates, no protein, and produces delicious, most powerful, proteinaceous milk. So if they know, then they could have made another machine like that. They don't know. So therefore, as Rupa Goswami says, the basis, the spirituality begins with the understanding that these are all achintya. And only the Supreme Lord has got the power to make contradictory things, adjustment to contradictory things appear perfect. So like that, there are various pastimes of the Lord. one pastime, Lord is swallowing all the fire and nothing happens to him. We are smoking cigarette itself, we are getting cancer. That is not fire also, only smoke. Here Krishna has swallowed the entire fire, nothing happened to him. No cancer, nothing. So for an ordinary intelligence, how and all this and all not possible. Simply there is a pore in the body of one personality from which many, many universes are coming out. Just imagine how big that pore is. It is not possible. So, achintya. We cannot imagine the size of Lord Mahavishnu. Therefore, when we go to some big temples where big Mahavishnu is there are some temples, 3 doors are there. We can see his face from one door, body in one door and lotus feet in. Then we are, he's so big. Vamana Deva, he raised his feet, all the 3 lokas he covered. What will be his size? There is one temple, Vamana temple is there. Very big deity. You have to see like that much big. That seeing itself you think, wow, such a big. Imagine really seeing Vamana Deva is manifestation of all this. So bewildering. So therefore, Vedic literature say, we should not apply our material logic in understanding the transcendental subject matter. Our logic ends there. Wherever the Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastras are there our logic ends. Beyond that we cannot. Ganga, water of Ganges, is always pure. Even though many people are throwing away all dirt inside, it is always pure. How it is pure? Now material science cannot estimate, cannot come to a conclusion. They may say, yeah, we tested water, it was real. Some will say, we tested water, all the germs are visible. That also is there, this also is there. So therefore, we cannot put transcendental subject within the boundary of our logic. Logic also is always, what logic is fitting to one person may not fit to another. Like in India we may eat idli nicely, but in other countries it doesn't fit to their logic. How can you eat idli? We are eating bread, they say. Out of logic you are eating, but it fits their logic. So we should not be stuck up in logics, or neither we should become a logician. We may use logic in the beginning to convince ourselves or to convince others. But then that should not be the only ground of Krishna. Our ground is achintya kalue bhava, is inconceivable. And that achintya is revealed by the Supreme Lord as we are gradually purifying. Because it is achintya, we cannot say, anyway achintya Prabhu, what is the use of knowing? Let me go and sleep. No. We should chant, become more purified, render more devotional service, become purified, become qualified. Then Lord will reveal this achintya shakti, aprameya shakti, aprameya achintya shakti that the Supreme Lord is having. And slowly the devotees will, an individual devotee will understand based on the Supreme Lord's prasada leshanu grihita, a shadow of the Supreme Lord's mercy if it falls. So here Uddhava is lamenting. His bewildering is not like us. His bewildering is because just like a son seeing the father getting defeated. Even though the son knows my father is more powerful than me, but he is still enjoying. Father is getting defeated, he still enjoys. So the Lord is performed various pastimes for the devotees to enjoy, hear and become purified. So furthermore we will see some more bewildering aspects of the Lord's pastimes. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So in the purport last line, Prabhupada wrote, factually there is nothing contradictory, everything is possible when we understand the Lord as the Lord and not as one of us with all our imperfection. Means with all imperfection, how can we understand? And I got that.
No. Prabhupada is saying that with our imperfection is that connected to as one of us. If you think the Lord is one of us, like having so many imperfections, then you cannot understand Lord. Imperfection is one of us. The Lord is not having imperfection. He is achintya. Let's say this little we have to read in a proper way. Everything is possible when we understand the Lord as the Lord and not as one of us with all imperfection. One line you have to read. Otherwise you will think this final part is connected to. So everything is possible when we understand the Lord as the Lord. What is the Lord? Achintya. You have to understand that he is achintya. You cannot possibly understand how we can make a stone float. You cannot understand. Okay.
Prabhu, just like as per this sloka, Lord plays perfectly the role what he is doing. No, with this knowledge, can we see the deity? Actually, Lord is there, but he is perfectly situated as Arjya Vigraha. It is not a deity, but he is acting perfectly how a Vigraha will stand.
Yes.
We can mean with that means he is there, but for us it is appearing as if he is a deity, but he is absolute truth. No, we know theoretical, but now with this principle we can see the deity saying, so that our way of seeing the deity will change.
Correct. Yes. That Lord who has appeared as Archa Vigraha, that Archa Vigraha form has certain attributes, features. How he responds is not the way the original Satchidananda reciprocates. So this particular form has certain way of reciprocation. Different form of the Lord, avatar of the Lord has a certain way of reciprocation. So therefore, the deity also, Archa Vigraha, has perfectly he behaves like Archa Vigraha only. Like it may happen, there may be some dirt may be fallen some place. Now a person who is atheist, there is one story is there, one Mayavadi, before become Mayavadi, he saw one rat walking on the linga. So that day he decided that that all this linga and vigraha and all, they are not real God. If he is God, then why rat is going on him? He should have removed rat. Suppose on me rat comes, at least I will run away or I will make the rat run away. In our case, I will run away. So that fellow became a great Mayavadi. He worshipped all over India. That is his background. But our understanding is, even though the rat or cockroach or whatever, the Lord is waiting so that the devotee takes care in such a way that the rats and cats and whatever, they don't crawl on the Lord. He is there for that purpose. Therefore, perfectly he behaves. Otherwise, he can remove rat, cat and all. What is there? He is sitting as Paramatma there, inside his heart. Inside the heart of the rat also he is sitting. He can simply give instruction, don't come inside this room, over. Maybe he is only telling, come. Let us see whether this devotee is bothered about me or not. So devotee takes it, okay, now it is my duty, he'll drive away. Otherwise, without Krishna's sanction, can he come inside? Can he come? Not only altar, anywhere can he come. So the Lord perfectly he behaves as a deity also. Any circumstance, perfectly he behaves. You may offer a sweet, you may not offer properly. He is silently accepting whatever you offer. He came for that purpose. He accepts.
Yeah.
Suppose a dressing somewhere not happened correctly. He will wait. Let me see whether this fellow will observe it, correct it or not. He will not correct himself. Little turban, so padipindi, settle cheskundaam. No, he will be there like this without, sometimes turban will fall, no? Its position, it will slant. So he will be waiting. Some fellow will see, it is not my duty, Pujari's duty, and he will go away. Some fellow will see Pujaris are not bothered, he will tell. So Lord is giving different opportunities to different. A sincere fellow who is there, yo, my Lord is, this is not correct, immediately he attends to it, gets it corrected. Perfect.
Actually, in this chapter, most of the slokas we can apply to the deity, bro. Just like Yadavas, although they were there with the Krishna, they could not recognize him as the Supreme Lord. Now, in our case, we are there with the deity, but we are not able to recognize that he is a personality sitting in the altar. So, in that way, we can apply and we can see the deity saying that there is something which I need to learn.
Yeah, every aspect of Bhagavatam can be applied into our real life. Yes.
And one more thing, bro. Just I was reading about omnipotency. In one place of Bhagavatam says that Ananda Chinmay Rasa and Sachita, that Rasa, because of that Rasa, Krishna is Sachitananda Vigraha. Is there any link between Ananda Chinmay Rasa and Sachitananda Vigraha?
Only Sachidananda can have Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Chit Rasa. Chit, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. That is the quality of Sachidananda. That which is real, life, only that can have Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Otherwise it cannot. Jadavastu cannot have. This has no Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Idli we are eating, it has no Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. So only spiritual matter, transcendental matter has Ananda Chinmaya Rasa in that. So when we see Ananda Chinmaya Rasa there, that is spirit. Hare Krishna mantra. It is having Ananda, therefore it is Sachidananda. That also is okay.
Even this, because of Sachidananda Vigraha, this Ananda Chinmaya Rasa is there. Who is having that quality, they will exhibit this one. Same principle, bro. Now, Hare Krishna mantra, Lord is now appearing perfectly as a holy name. It appears for us as a ABC, alphabetical, but actually is the Lord himself. In that way, we can also perceive.
Correct.
Continues to yesterday's class. In Dwapara Yuga and Satya Yuga, Lord has appeared physically. He has come to protect when there is a confliction of with Kamsa for the purpose of Vasudeva and Ugrasena. Lord appeared in their family and saved them. Similarly, appeared the Lord and saved Prahlada. Superficially, in the Kali Yuga, there are many devotees, acharyas, who were harassed, and also were superficially they were harassed and killed or cheated. How we can understand? Till today, the so-called other envious of religions are harassing devotees of Lord and harassing and killing in other countries also. In such cases, Lord is omnipotent and sometimes we bewildered how Lord is saving devotees. In this case, actually we know that saving our body is not a saving, but outside world for non-devotees are superficially they think that they are pure devotees, they are surrendered to Lord. Still see their organizations, their mission, their philosophy is now is diverted. No one has could not save them physically. But we know philosophy that Lord saves our soul. Lord having a plan by taking away from this body. How to understand, Prabhu, how can we preach in this such cases in this age to these questions?
Yeah, so we can preach. See, the Lord is protecting, but His protection is not the way that we understand. That is also transcendental. How He protects is that the Supreme Lord's decision. From our side, our role is to continue to maintain that faith that the Lord will protect me. That's what Prahlad Maharaj has shown in his pastimes. That's what Pandavas have shown. So, we have to educate to people the problem that you are seeing in the material world is temporary. They should not connect the solving the problem in the material world to Krishna conscious. Just like material happiness comes out of its own accord. There is no need of special endeavor for that. No one asks, it comes. Distress comes. So similarly, happiness also comes. So both happiness and distress comes without our specific endeavor. It comes. So like that we have to explain to them about what is that pain that they are understanding. They should not use Krishna consciousness for solving their material pain. That is important, we should understand. Their understanding of religion itself is wrong. Dharma projita kaitavotra. Kaitava dharma tells, you do this, you will get good child. If you do this, you will get good wife. If you do this, you will get good business. That is kaitava dharma. What is real dharma? Irrespective of what you have to chant Hare Krishna, you have to surrender to Krishna. And have faith that the Lord will protect. When He wants, definitely He will protect. Not when He wants, actually He is protecting. Continuously He is protecting His devotees. Understood now? So we have to explain to them, bring them to this fact that these things, what is happening to the outside world, this body, is simply a phenomena of the dress, not to the spirit soul. So we should not judge Krishna consciousness by how nicely the body is taken care. Transcendental. Krishna is worried about the spirit soul. Understood, no? So even the jiva who is suffering, suppose one terrorist came and attacked. Now the jiva may say, I am Hindu, but really he is Krishna's devotee. We don't know. Okay, even though he is a devotee, we don't know all his past karma, what and all he has done. We don't know. In the past karma that he has done, being a devotee, will he ask Krishna Krishna, because I am devotee, as a business, can you relieve my karma? Will the devotee agree? He is not going to do such a business. Correct? So, like this, we need to first establish that we should not judge Krishna's mercy with our material pleasures. This is the preaching of other religions. They say, if you come to my God will take care. My God, your God, both are same only. So therefore we should first bring them to the concept of spirituality. That's why Krishna is also telling no to Arjuna. Arjuna, you are talking like a very intelligent man, but you don't know. You are not the body, you are spirit soul. So when we talk about some fellow suffering, Krishna did not help, we are talking about the dress. We are talking about saving the dress. But Krishna is not only concerned about taking care of dress. He is even concerned about the soul sitting inside. So we should explain to them, then explain to them about the role of the Lord, the bigger role of the Lord in liberating us from the material world. See, I am take you from one cell to another cell in a jail. Is it better, or take you out of the jail is better? So that we can explain to them. So Krishna is, so then you will be able to understand and accept. It needs little sukruti. If he is very passionate fellow, he will not accept all this. To them we can give some examples from Sastra. There Krishna helped there. Here also Krishna will help. Understood, no? But maybe, yeah. So we should talk about the spirit soul angle. We should come from the spirit soul. If he has time, explain from the spirit soul angle. What is Krishna consciousness? It is not simply solving material problem. It is to solve our eternal problem. Eternity, all the problems should be solved. Understood, no? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की